So I'm delving into the thing of losers who want to date but can't, which is very unfortunate, but here we are. I need to make videos, so here's another video. The question of today being, can men and women be friends? And the short answer is yes, you can. I don't think that needs any sort of explaining. People are people and people can get along, and that's basically it. I really don't need to go too much further in explaining that. But what I wanted to explain is the opposite end of why I think the people that disagree with this idea disagree with it. And what it comes down to me, is self-control. Basically, a lot of the guys that, or almost, or pretty much all of them that do disagree with this idea or thing, as I'm sure you might be aware, are usually the guys that don't get women at all and don't like women. And so, they have this idea that because they think of women in this specific way, that they can't get along with them or respect them or whatever. When I think of it, what they're trying to say and how they say things about this topic, what it boils down to me is that they have a lack of self-control. They lack the ability to think of a woman in any way that's not sexual. And so they assume that because they think like this, that everyone must think like this, or every man must think like this. They push this idea onto the world because unfortunately the internet enables them to do that. And they do that. Basically, they say that, you can't be friends with women because, biology and all this. And while, it is true that, men and women, biological stuff, it doesn't mean that you can't get along with them. Another thing that I just remembered is that, when I was a teenager, obviously wanted to fuck every girl I saw because, hormones and all that. But, I got older, I matured, and, now my mind is not hanging on sex 24/7. What it comes down to also is that a lot of these guys don't really ever mature, or they haven't matured yet into, being an adult and, not being rooted in sex 24/7 and wanting to fuck every woman they see. I think they kind of also impose that mentality on other people, because they haven't really grown up mentally. Basically, they haven't grown up and they haven't matured. They haven't matured into men. They're still little boys, basically, or teenagers, just like running around thinking with their dicks and not focusing on, real world shit. Just still in that teenage mentality, which is lame. I've interacted with plenty of women, and I'm able to control whatever thoughts that come into my mind that are, sexual in nature, and, not like try and impose that upon the women that I interact with, because, that's just not the thing that I want to do. Or at least not that I want to force that thing on them, because I think that, because I'm a man and whoever I'm with is a woman, that I must, try and get in their pants. Basically, I don't need to do that, especially if they don't want to, or if you just want to stay friends, or if you're just friendly, you don't have to, or I don't feel the need to try and impose biology upon them, right? Whereas I think these guys tend to think that like that because that's how they see women, like a piece of meat. So yeah, that's basically why I think the other side argument is that, men and women can't be friends because, biology, because they have a lack of self-control. The mind's pretty much just on sex 24/7, no matter how much they want to deny it, be it with women or with men, because, Let's be real. A lot of those guys have they say a lot of gay shit. Pure homosexual activity over there. I think I'm rambling a little too much. Pretty much what it boils down to is that what my mind says is that men and women can be friends, and that the people who believe that they can't, what it comes down to is whether or not you can control your urges. And the people who say that they can't, they just can't control themselves. They just have no agency within themselves. They just have to, it's like being addicted to. It's like being an addict. They have to get your hit, and that's basically what it comes down to me. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say there. This is gonna take a lot of editing. See ya.